All right, boys and girls, we are going to be reading together today, what is the Declaration of Independence? This whole series is really one of my favorites. You probably have read some of the Who Was or What Was books, but I'm going to read each chapter just to give you guys a little more background information on the Declaration of Independence. And if we see here, we kind of can already tell that the Declaration of Independence, the most important thing we need to know about it is it's a historical document. And we kind of can see that from the front cover. So here we have the first kind of introduction to it, and I'm going to read it out loud to you guys. What is the Declaration of Independence? I wonder what that is. I think I've heard about it before, and maybe I've already done some work on it. June 26, 1776, Philadelphia. The June heat in Philadelphia was blistering. Even before the sun came up, it was hot. Thomas Jefferson of Virginia did his best to stay cool as he wrote in the room he had rented on Market Street. Oh, I'm guessing this must be Thomas Jefferson. He was writing a letter, but it was no ordinary letter. Along with Jefferson, important men from 13 American colonies had come to Philadelphia. They planned to do something brave and dangerous. The colonies were declaring their freedom from Great Britain. They were going to create a new country, the United States. Thomas Jefferson was chosen to write a public letter to the British king listing all the reasons why people in America were rebelling. Jefferson also wanted the letter to show other countries in Europe why this was the right decision for America. It took Jefferson, with the help from others, only a couple weeks to finish one of the most important documents in history, the Declaration of Independence. Sending an announcement like this, a declaration, meant the colonists in America would go to war. The British Army was large and powerful. The colonists didn't have an army. The chances were slim that the Americans could win. Many would certainly die. And even if by some chance the colonists did win their freedom, could 13 different colonies create a country together? For 2 weeks, Jefferson worked on the Declaration of Independence. He sat at a small desk that he had made by hand. He wrote in ink on large sheets of paper with his quill pen. Each day, Jefferson would discuss the ideas for the Declaration with some other men who had gathered in Philadelphia. Oh, so I'm assuming this Thomas Jefferson has to be here. Oh, I think I recognize him. That's Ben Franklin. I always can tell by his glasses. After these talks, Jefferson would sometimes tear up the most recent drafts of his declaration and start over. I bet some of you feel like that sometimes when you're writing your first draft, that it's not very good, you just want to tear it up. He wanted to get every word just right. The Declaration had to explain more than why the colonies would no longer live under British rule. More importantly, it had to tell the world that this new country hoped to stand for. It would have not a king. It would set up a government in which ordinary men decided the laws. After the Declaration of Independence was finished, it was signed on July 4th, 1776. Oh, July 4th, we call that our Independence Day. It has become one of the most important statements of freedom. It has inspired people around the globe to fight for their freedom as well. Thomas Jefferson wrote, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal." This meant that this new United States would treat everyone the same. Jefferson may not have realized how powerful those simple words would be hundreds of years to come. And again, boys and girls, this is an introduction, and this explains a little bit more about what does he mean by that phrase, all men are created equal. Jefferson's famous phrase about all men being created equal didn't hold true in the American colonies. It didn't hold true. In 1776, there were about 500,000 African slaves belonging to white colonists. We talked about that with the slave trade. Jefferson himself owned slaves, so did many of the other men who signed the Declaration of Independence. In his first version of the Declaration, Jefferson included anti-slavery language, but too many of the signers didn't want to end slavery, so there is no mention of it. Jefferson did free a few of his slaves. So did many of the other men who signed the Declaration of Independence. So boys and girls, what that kind of tells me is that some of the colonists didn't want to get rid of slavery quite yet in 1776. So were all men really created equal? We'll have to see. Please make sure you watch the next video when I start chapter 1.